Shalom, shalom. It's Brother Yatazadak, Hero Israel. I'd like to start off by giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakabaka Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, Great Millstone. Let's get right into it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 11, right? Going into the Hebrew. Lord willing, you're edified. Giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakabaka Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, Great Millstone. Get right into it. All right. Deuteronomy 11 and 1 reads, Wa ahabath ata Yahweh alahayaka. Reading, you will love to the Lord your power. Washamarath, Washamartha, right? Ma Shamarthawa, which is and you will keep to the charge, right? Because shamar means to keep, ma shamar, ma means of, shamar means of keeping, meaning a charge, right? Wa Hakwathia Slakia. Wa Hakwathyawa, right? And his ordinances, right? Wa Mashapatyawa and his his statutes and his ordinances. Wama Shapat Yahweh and his commandments. Wama Tazawath Yahweh. Call Hayamayim all the days, meaning all days, right? So it reads, you will love to the Lord your power and keep to his charge, and his statutes and his ordinances and his commandments all the days, right? Verse 2, Wa Wayadaitham Hayawam Kaya La'a Ata Banayakam, meaning, right, and know this day because it is not your children, Ashar La'a Yadaiwa, which did not know, Wa Ashar La'a Ra'awa, and which did not see, Ata Masawar, or Salakia, Ata Masar, right? Meaning, Yasar is the root word which means rebuke, right? So Masawar means the same thing, right? Which have not seen to the chastisement, right, of Yahweh, Lord your power, Allah Hayakam, Ata Gadawa, Ata Yadwa, right, to his greatness, to his hand, strong, Ha Hazak, Wa Zariwa, and to his hand outstretched, right, Ha Nata Waya, right. Verse 3, Slakia, let me read that back, right. Verbatim it says, so it says, and know this day because it is now your children which have known, right, and which have not known, which have not seen, to the chastisement of Yahweh your power, to his greatness, to his hand strong, and his arm stretched out, right? So again, it says, and know this day because it is not your children which have seen, right, which have known, Salakia, and know this day because it is not to your children which they have not known, right? And they did not see, to the chastisement of Yahweh your power, to his greatness, to his hand strong and arms stretched out. Right? Deuteronomy 11:3. Wa'ata atata Yahweh. Right? Wa'ata ma'aisha Yahweh. Right? And to his signs and to his doings. Right? Ashar Aisha, Batawak, Salakia, Batawaka, right? Which he did in the midst of Egypt, Matazarium, right? La Pariah, Malak Matazarium, to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, Walakal Aratazawa, and to all his land, right? Verbatim it says, to his signs, to his doings, which he did in the midst of Egypt, to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and to all his land. Wa Ashar Aisha Lachayal Matazarium, right? And which he did, right? The word Chayal means might, to the might of the Egyptians, right? La Sawas Yahweh, to his horsemen, or Sulakia, to his horses. Wala Rakabwa, to his chariots. Ashar Hatazayap, Ata Mayim Sawap, or Salakia, right? Which he overthrew to the waters, right? Which is Maya. That word yum means sea, right? Two separate words. Salakia, I read it as the same. To the sea of reeds, or the Red Sea, right? So that word tazayap means let's take a look at it. To overthrow, overflow, right? Or actually, let's check this out. Lift up. Let's see what we can get right here. Wop. Okay, so you have the Strong's H5130, Nawap or Nayap, means to lift up and down, right? That word tazad, tazad, which is the taza, that means side, tazad, right? So Deuteronomy 11:4 says what? Atazayap, tazawap, right? So you can compare it to that word nawap or nayap, meaning to lift up and down, right? So that word taza means side. So, right, in a sense, lifting up and down and on and overturning, right? So that's what it really means, right? To overturn, right? Which you can compare that to chapak, right? Overturn. Check this out, right? Hapak, overthrow, overturn, right? So in a sense, that's what happened here, right? to his chariots which he overturned, right? To the sea, right? To the Red Sea, right? So the word tazayap means to overturn, right? Al panayahum, before their face, right? Or before them, right? Baradapum, baradapum, right? The word radap means to chase, right? Upon chasing you, right? Haryakam, after you. Waya abadam, you destroy them. The Lord Yahweh. Ad, even to Hayawam, right? So that word ad means even, right? Hayawam means today. Hazah means this, right? So verbatim it reads, and which he did to the might of the Egyptians, to his horsemen, to his chariots, which he overturned, right? Towards the sea, the Red Sea, before their face. He overturned to the sea, right? The Red Sea before their face, upon chasing you, after you, right? And he destroyed them, the Lord, even till this very day, right? So again, and which he did to the might of the Egyptians, to his horsemen, to his chariots, which he overturned them in the Red Sea, right? Right before their face, right? When they were upon chasing you, after you, and he destroyed them, the Lord, even till this very day. Verse 5, Wa ashar aisha lakam bama dabar, in which he did to you in the wilderness, ad ba'akam, till you have went in unto, ad, even, ha-makwam, to the place, this, hazah. So that word makwam means place. It's a derivative of kwam, meaning to something to stand. Ma meaning of, so a place of standing, which is a place, right? And which he did to you in the wilderness until you have went in to this very place. Deuteronomy 11:6. Wa ashar aisha la dathan wala abayaram, right? And which he did to Dathan and to Abiram, the sons of Eliab, Benaiah, Eliab, the son of Reuben, Ban, Ra'aban, Ashar, Patazatha, right? Which he opened, right? This is in the sentence of, right? The root word is payataza or pawataza, meaning to scatter, right? For example, scattered in the four corners of the earth, right? In this sense, it's talking about the earth swallowing up those that rebelled against Moses, right? So it's a derivative of payataza or pawataza, and patach means to open, right? So that's what happened. The Lord opened the earth from below and it swallowed them up, right? So it says Ashar patazatha, rataza, which opened to the earth to its mouth, atha paya, wala, or slakia wa tabalayim, and swallowed them up, right? To their house, wa'ata batayahum, and to their tent, wa'ata ahal yahum, wa'ata kal hayaquam, and to all that which was standing, right? So you have that word quam again, meaning everything that was in place around them, their tents, anything that stood up, whether it be a person or a thing, right? Everything that stood under them, in a sense. That's what it's saying. Ashar baragal yahum, which um, which was upon their feet, right? Bakorab, in the midst of all Israel, call Yasha'ala, right? So Deuteronomy 11 and 6. Let's check that out real quick. 11 and 6. So I clicked the wrong thing. Deuteronomy 11 and 6. Salakia. Satan. Deuteronomy 11 and 6. So let's see, where's that word? Right? The word is patazah. Says to open, right? To rend, right? Separate, right? So it's another word like open, but it's in the sense of separating, right? For example, scatter, right? Let's see what we get for scatter or disperse. It might be disperse. Here it is. Napataza, scattering, right? So let's see, separating. Right, let's see what we got right here. Separate. Right. So it's in the sense of, right. It's another way to say open. It means to separate, right? So it says, in which did to Dathan, to Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and the son, or Salakia, which he did to Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, son of Reuben, which he separated the earth to its mouth, right? And it swallowed them up to their house, to their tents, and to all which stood upon their feet, under their feet, in the midst of all of Israel, right? So that's what it's saying, right? So you have patach, which means to open. You have patazah, which means to separate, right? Verse 7, Kaya ayan yakam hara'at atha kal ma'aisha, right? Because with your eyes you saw to all which of the doings of the Lord Yahweh, Hakadal, great, which he did, right? Deuteronomy 11 and 8, Washamar thum atha kal matazawah, you will keep to all which was commanded, Ashar, Anakaya, right? Matazawaka, right? Which I have commanded thee this day, Hayawam, Lamayan, so that you may be encouraged, right? Ta Chazakwa, right? Thumb, right? And you may go in and to possess Wayashar, Wayarash Thumb, to the land Taha Rataza, Ashar, which a thumb, Ibarium, which you are going beyond hither, Shama, to possess, Larashata, right? So it says, you will keep to which is commanded, which I have commanded thee this day, so that you may be encouraged and go in and possess to the land which you are going beyond hither to possess, right? So like this is how you get you practice by ways of remembrance, right? By reading it out loud if you have to. You don't have to, but sometimes it makes better practice, right? So I'm gonna do 11 and 6, right? In which he did to Dathan, to Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the son of Reuben, right? Which separated to the earth to its mouth and swallowed them up, to their house, to their tents, and to all which stood under their feet in the midst of Israel, right? So see, there you go. That's how you get a good understanding, right? You read out loud. You also understand the Hebrew, right? Deuteronomy. Let's revisit that word. Salakia. Balai. Well, that's all it really means, to swallow up. Deuteronomy 11 and 9. Wala mayan ta arayakwa, right? And so that maybe lengthen your days. Salakia Yamayim, upon the earth, Al Ha'adamah, Ashar, which swore Nashabai Yahweh, right? The Lord, to your fathers, La Abba Thayakum, to give to them, La Thath Laham, and to their seed, right? Wa Lazarayim, the land, Arataza Zabath, flowing with milk and honey. Kalab wa Dabash, right? So you have that word Zabath, which is Zawab, is a root, or in a simple way, simply put Zab, right? Because you don't necessarily always need the Wa in there, as you see here in the text, right? The Wa is not there, therefore that is not. When you see Wa between these words, it's just to show you the different symbols, to separate the symbols, right? Like Taza Wap or Taza Yap, right? That's all it's for, right? Just to show you, right, that they are different symbols, right, associated with such word, with such mentioned word, right? So let's all right. Deuteronomy, right? So 11 and 9, right? Which are swore to your fathers to give to them, right? So that word zab means to flow. For example, in the law, you read about a running issue, right? Which you would compare onto a right? What do you call it? A UTI, urinary tract infection, which is in the law. That word for flow is zab. But you also have your ball, which is where you get the word jubilee, which we're going to touch on that in this chapter, right? We can go into the concordance, but that's all it's going to say, right? You can look it up yourself. So that word jubilee actually is your ball, which it just means to flow, but in a different sense, right? A flowing together of what the peoples, right? To release depths and such, right? Which right, it's another word for flow, but it's in a different sense, right? Deuteronomy 11 and 10. Kaya ha-rataza ashar atha, because the land which you are going in hither to possess, ta'a shama la rashata, right? It is not like the land of Egypt, la'a ka rataza, tazarium, right? Hawa, that is Ashar, which he brought you out, Yataza thumb, from hither, Masham, which you sowed to your seed, Ashar, Tazarai, Atha, Zoraika, right? Waha, Shakwayath, right? To the seed, right? And you watered it upon your feet, Babragal Ka, right? Kagan, like a garden of greenery, because that's what that Gan means garden, Yarak means green or vegetables, but it doesn't mean vegetable, it means green, right? And we're going to visit these two words in verse 10. Salakia. Deuteronomy 11 and 10. Actually, let's go to this. So yeah, there's certain words I'm going to go into the concordance. Others you can look up yourself, but these, just to show you. Salakia. Shakwa is the root. It means to water or to give drink. Shakwa, to drink. Compare it to shatha, right? Means to drink, right? The Arabic says sakwa, right? To drink, to irrigate, right? It just means to water, right? It doesn't mean to drink. To water cattle, right? Check this out. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And the river went out from Eden to water. Right? Come, let us make our father drink wine. Right? So let's touch on that real quick. Genesis 19 and 32. Laka, right? Which means right, go, right? Nashakwa means the water, right? In the sense of how do you say it? Hydrating, which is another way, to say that you're gonna drink, you're gonna get hydrated, right? Ata abayanawo, right? To our father, wine, right? Yayan, wana shakaba, wana shakaba, right? And lay down with him, aimwa, wanachaya, right? And we may cause to live ma abayanawa, from our father, a seed, Zorai, right? So it's in the sense of, right, to water, to give drink, right? In a sense of right, hydration, right? Let's look at some other precepts, because you're not always gonna have, right, you're gonna have it, but it doesn't literally mean to give drink. It just means to water, but it's used in a non-literal sense. For example, let's see what else we get for drink. I think another one, gama, means to drink up, right? It's also known as papyrus, right? Which is dried up reeds used to make paper in ancient days, right? To write on. Gama means to drink up. To swallow. That's not what that means. It just means to drink up. All right, let's look at the gama. So the literal word, it means to absorb, right? Or to drink up. For example, papyrus paper, when you write on it, it absorbs the ink. It drinks up the ink because of the type of paper, the texture, right? Which is why Genesis 24:17 says, and the servant ran up to meet her and said, let me, I pray thee, drink up a little water of thy pitcher, right? So that's the non-literal sense, but literally it means to absorb, right? Job 39:24, right? He drinks up the ground with fierceness and rage, neither believes he that it is the sound of a trumpet. It's talking about the horse and its power, right? Aramaic gamal, which is that's ga ma. There's two lines. It's the la, gamal, right? Right, which means, right, you can compare that to gama, or Salakia gamal, which means camel, but it also means to reward, right? And that it's written in a similar fashion. But let's see if we can find something else. Anyways, you can look that up. Now we're gonna go to Salakia. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 11. Let's just scroll down, see what we find. No, that's not it. Right. Iraq. Means green, right? Greenery, right? Herbs, herbage, but it literally means green, right? You know, like Jake, he likes to talk in euphemistic sense, right? I got the green, right? You see? Which let's see, that's all it means. Let's see what we find. So like I don't want to take too long on that, but maybe we'll find something which you will find enlightened. Salakia. Iraq. Syriac is herb. I believe that says Narakwa. The second one, this one here, or Salakia, that's Yara Kwa, right? This is the Ya, this is the Ra. The Kwa is like a Q in English, and the A, Yara Kwa A, which the Aramaic, that's how they do it, right? The first one says Yarakwa, Yarakwana, Yarakwa Wana. Right, I believe that's the na. That's a nun, right there. Slakia. So yeah, Kaya Harataza Ashar Atha. Or Slakia, already read that. So it says, because the land which you are going hither to possess is not like the land of Egypt, that is, right, which he brought you out from hither, right, which you sowed to your seed and you watered with your foot, right, like a vegetable garden, right? So when the Israelites were serving in Egypt, what they had to do is take the water, that area was so dry that what they had to do, they literally had to go fetch water from the Nile, and it wasn't like an irrigated land, so they had to fetch the water from the Nile, pour the water in the gardens, and then spread it with their feet, right? Which what they did as part of their servitude in Egypt, right? Deuteronomy 11 and 11. Waha Ratazah, Ashar, Atham, and the land which you are crossing over hither, right? Ibarium, Shema, to possess La Rashata, Aratazah, Harayim, right? It is the land of mountains, Wabakwaita, valleys, right? Wamatar, right? To rain, the to rain the heavens, Hashemayim, Tashata Mayim, for to drink of the water, right? So it's saying, and the land which you are going beyond hither to possess, it is a land of mountains, valleys, right? For the La meaning for, Matar means to rain, for the rain of the heavens, uh, um, drinks of the waters, right? In the sense that it rains there so much that that water that fills those valleys, mountains, right? It's so fruitful that you're literally, the water you're drinking from there is the water from the heavens, right? Meaning that it rains pretty continually, right? So verbatim would say, in the land which you are going beyond hither to possess, it is a land of mountains, valleys, right? For the rain of the heavens, uh, is the drink of those waters, right? So that's what it says. Literally, it rains so much that, right, those hills, those valleys are all full of water. The mountains, everything is water everywhere, right? And it's pure. Deuteronomy 11 and 12. Aratazah, Ashar Yahweh Lahayakah, land which the Lord your power, right, seeks to it. Darash, Atah, Atamayad, meaning continually, right? For example, the law says you continually offer the bread, loaves of bread each Sabbath upon the altar, which is the duty of the Levites. That word continually is tamayad, right? Ayanya Yahweh, right? The eyes of the Lord, your power, Alahayakah, are upon it. Baha, Marashayath, right? From the beginning of the year, Hashanah, right? So you see, it says Marashayath. It doesn't say Ra'ashayath or Ra'ashawan, right? So that because the scribe wants to fit as much information as possible, he didn't have to put Ra'ashayath, right? Because when you say the Ra, there's an already kind of in there in between, right? So, right, Ma meaning of, Ra'ash mean head, summit, beginning, right? Rashayath, right? But you don't see the there, but it still means the same, right? From the beginning of the year, Hashanah, Wa'ad, even to the latter end, right? Acharyath, or because Achar means, right, hindermost or afterwards, in that sense, right? The latter end of the year, Acharyath, Shana. So it says, a land which the Lord your power seeks to continually. The eyes, Salakia, the eyes of the Lord your power are upon it from the beginning of the year and even to the latter end of the year. Wahaya, I'm Shammai, Tashamaywa, right? And it will come to pass, if surely you will hear to the commandments, Al Matazawathia, right, which I have commanded to thee, Ashar Anakaya Matazawa Atakam. Really, that means to you. Today, Hayawam La Ahaba, to love to the Lord, Ata Yahweh, your power, Allah Yakam, Wala Ibadwa, to serve him, Bakal Lababkum, with all your heart, Wabakal, and upon all your soul, Napashkum. So it says, and it will come to pass, surely you were here to the commandments which I have commanded to you today, to love to the Lord your power, to serve him with all your heart, with all your soul. Right? Verse 14. Wa Nathathia Matar Aratazakam, and I have given, and I will give the rain to your land in its time. Ba'aitawa Yara, meaning to direct. Wama Lakwash, right? And will water, right? Wa Asapta, right? And I will and you will gather to your threshing, Dagan Ka, right? Which includes what? Corn, wheat, grain, any type of grain that you would take to the threshing floor and get the seed out. Wata Yarashka, right? Your new wine and your oil. Wayatazaharka, right? So it says, and I will give to the rain, and I will appoint rain to your land in its time, right? To direct and water it, and you will gather your threshing floor, your new wine, and your oil. Right? There's that word, Salakia, let's get it. 11 and 14. Deuteronomy 11, 14. Salakia, that word is gather. I'm bugging. Right. So that word lakwash, right? So it says, and I will appoint the rain to your land in its time, right? To direct, to direct it, meaning to make it happen. Wama lakwash, and of the gathering, right? Right. So that word ma, meaning of, lakwash, meaning to gather. Right. Because you had a time of the season where you would have a time of gathering your crops, right? Which is the time of harvest, right? Which is, let's get that real quick. Salakia. Latter rain, spring rain, right? Which will show you what it really means. Lakwash, latter rain, right? Can't believe everything the concordance says, right? It just means to gather. Let's get that real quick, actually. Gather. See what we get. So gather, you have Slovakia, Lakwash, right? Lakwash, right? To glean, to gather, right? It just means to gather, right? So let's see. There's more verses to that. Slovakia. See if we can get that real quick. Because that's not the only place that that word is in. Gather. Let's see what we got right here. Lakwash, Lakwat. See, to gather, to collect. Here's a corn. Lakwat, Lakwat. Because that ta means basket, right? In the sense of gathering, right? Pick up, gather, right? You gather something, put it in the basket. It's a derivative of lakwak, meaning to take, but in a sense, this is in the sense of gathering. Lakwat, because that ta denotes that, right? You're gathering to carry in a basket in the sense of right. Which is right, Lakwash. It's just another way, right, to say to gather. Actually, let's see what we got right here. Stubble. Let's see what we get for stubble. Quash. Gather stubble. Alright. See what we get. Might be the same one. Yeah. Right. So it just means together. It's not really anything too deep, right? Um, so it says, and I will point rain to your land in its time, right? Yara, meaning to direct. meaning it's time you direct the rain. Wama Lakwash, right? And of gathering, right? Meaning the gathering of your the crops from the latter rain, right? Wa'a Sapath, right? Right? That means I. Sapath is the root word is Yawasap. So he's saying, and I will add unto you to your threshing floor, to your new wine, and to your oil. So Salakia reads, and I will point to the rain of your land, and I will point rain to your land, and it's time to direct it, right? And the gathering of your season, right? So it doesn't have to say season or anything like that, because Lakwash means to gather, Ma means of gathering, right? The gathering of your season, right? Which is the time of harvest. It's just another way to say harvest, right? Because what does it say next? And I will add to your threshing floor, to your new wine, and to your oil, right? So verbatim it says, and I'll point rain to your land, and it's time to direct it, right? In the time of your gathering, and I will add unto you your threshing floor, your new wine, and your oil, right? So that's what it says. Plain and simple, right? Not really rocket science, right? Let's see how many verses we got left. 15. Might have to split this in 2 videos, maybe not. We'll find out. 32. So we're at 15. So lock in. Verse 15. Wa Nathathia Aishab Bashadka. Right? Which is really Shadah, right? Meaning field. Right? So Wa Nathathia Aishab Bashadka. Right? And now we'll point, right? That word Aishab means herbage or grass. Aishab literally means herb, but right, grass is an herb. Any type of greenery, right? And I will point, right, grass in your fields, right, or herbs, right? And I will point herb in your field, right, or herbage, growth. That's denoting growth, right? So really you can read it, and I will point growth in your field, right? And for your cattle, not and la bahamathka, right? Wa akalath wa shabaitha, right? So it says, right, and I will point growth in your field for your beast. You will eat and you will be satisfied. That word shabai means to be satisfied, not to be full, right? Deuteronomy 11:16. Lakia. Hashamarwa lakam pan yapatha, right? Keep to yourselves lest you be enticed, right? Because that word yapatha, the root is yapath. meaning right, denoting beauty. But it also it's a combination of pathach, meaning to be open, right? Yapath, meaning beauty, but it means to be enticed, right? Let's check that. Let's get that word real quick. Right? Because what does the proverb say? That the simplicity of the fool will slay him, right? So if you're simple, right, around women, you let yourself be enticed, then you end up in some setup, right, to get right got by child support or whatever the case may be, right? It could be anything, right? She may want to set you up and right, get how do you say it? Like a gold digger or something, whatever the case may be, right? Whatever snare, right? So patha, right? Really, it's just right a derivative of pathach, meaning to be open, right? But it's patha meaning enticement, denoting enticement, right? Because if you're open, oh, Jake, in the world, right? I'm open for anything. I'm down. That means that you're an idiot because you're not using wisdom to discern, right? You probably just don't care, right? So you get enticed, right? When someone has an open mind to anything, it just means you have, right? You're willing to fall for anything, right? And you just, so you can't be open to everything because not everything that is shines is gold, right? Like they say. So that word patha, right? To spread out, to open, right? To be open, right? Ingenious, youthful, hence to be let persuaded, right? Um, so it just means to entice or to be enticed in the sense of being open, like you're open and your mind is open to anything, and you have no discernment, right? Um, so right, which is the Arabic. This is pathawa. That's patha. Aramaic. That's patha'a. Patha'a. Right. Um, just means to be simple, to be enticed. Stop being simple. Right. Patha. So it says, "Got you on Lord Chapith." Really, it means right. He will open, right. Chapith, right. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, that's the same word, patha, right. Um, Deuteronomy 11:16. So it's entice, right? To entice. Um, so it says Hashamarwa lakam pan yapatha, right? Keep to yourself, right? Lest you be enticed, right? Uh, your lest your heart, lest be enticed, your less, right? Is enticed. You be enticed, your heart, labab come, right? Or salakia, um, uh, lest be enticed, your heart, or lest your heart be enticed. Right? Above come, wasar thumb, and you turn back, right? I bad thumb, and you serve Alahayim, Haryim, gods others, and you bow down to them. Waha Shatach Yatam, right? Laham. Verse 17. Wahara Ap Yahweh Bakam, right? And he wax hot that and wax hot the anger of the Lord upon you, right? Wa Atazar, and shut up to the heavens, Atah Hashemayim, right? That word Atazar means to shut in. For example, you read about that in the latter chapters of Deuteronomy. It says, right, it's in the sense of being, you can shut in the rains, as in creating a dearth, which will create a dearth or a famine. Or you can shut up, right, your storehouses, right? It's just you can use it literal and in a non-literal sense, right? Wala'a Yahaya Matar, right? And there will not be rain, right? Waha Adama, and the land will not give to its produce. La'a Tatan Ata Yabala, right? That word Yabala means the root is Yabal, means produce. But right, that's a non-literal sense, because literally it means it's flowing, right? In a sense, if there's no rain, there's not going to be any crops flowing together, as in, it's another way to say sprout up in the earth, right? Let's get that. Deuteronomy 11:17. Right. Deuteronomy 11:17. Let's see what we got. Yabawal. It's really just your ball. You see your ball. There's no Y there. Produce of the earth. Right. Produce. Right. It compares it to Taba. Actually, this has a Y in it. Taba wa'a. Right, which means increase. Produce of soil. Now, check this out. Right. Yabal, to flow, especially copiously. To flow copiously, to rain. Doesn't mean rain. It doesn't mean, right? None of that what it says, but it means just to flow, simply. As in flowing together. You can have a crowd of people flowing in together to a gathering, which is why it's called Jubilee. It literally means to flow. So you see the Arabic says wabal, because they changed the ya to the wa, to sow confusion. When it's yabal, not wabal, right? So if you would say, right, yarak, meaning thigh, right, you would write it warak in the Arabic, right, which is confusion. So it says, wabal, to flow copiously to rain. Wa'abal, a shower. Wabal, sounds stupid too. Sounds retarded. Wabal. Right. Yabal, to conduct, to bear along. That's not what that means. Now you can compare it to a procession, right? It's like right. Literally, that's what jubilee means. It means to flow, but it means procession. All right, let's look that up real quick so I can. Procession. A number of people or vehicles moving forward in orderly fashion, right? In the sense of flowing together. As part of the ceremony or festival. Nailed it. That's what jubilee means. A procession, right? There's no, right? Theology, the emanation of the Holy Spirit. No. That's not what that means. Right? Procession. So there's no super deep meaning for jubilee. Oh, the J means, Jupiter, and the B means the U means Wab, and Wab is Nwapian. No, that's not what that means. And then you turn that upside down, and you turn and it's a 30-degree angle, and that's what that means. It's the pyramid. It's the pyramid. No, that's not what it's talking about. Right? It just means procession. Right? Wa abatam mahara ma'al ha'rataza, you will perish quickly from upon the land, goodly hataba, which the Lord has given to you. Ashar Yahweh Nathan Lakam. Right, so it means, right, and be wroth, the anger of Yahweh, or Salakia, and wax hot the anger of Yahweh upon you, right, and he shut to the heavens, there will not be rain, so that there would not be rain, and the land will not give to its produce, and you will perish quickly from upon the land, goodly, which the Lord had given to you. Deuteronomy 11:18. Washam Thum Ata Dabaria Allah, and place to the words these upon your heart, Al Nababkam, Wa Al Napashkam, upon your heart and upon your soul, right? Wa Quashartham, and bind to them Atham, for a sign, La Awath, Al Yadkam, upon your hand, Wahayawa, and will be as frontlets, Latatapath, right? Between your eyes, Bayan Yan Yakam, right? So it says, and keep to the words these upon your heart, Arsalaki, and place to the words these upon your heart, upon your soul, and bind them for a sign, right, upon your hand. There will be as frontlets between your eyes. Walamatam atam atabanayakam, right, you will teach to them, to your sons, right, la dabar bum bama, or Salakia la dabar bum ba shabatka, right, to speak upon them, right, in your dwelling place, in your dwellings, right, Baba Yatka, in your house, Waba Lakatka, and in your goings, in the way by the rock, and you're lying down, waba shakabka, and you're rising up, waba kwamka. Deuteronomy 11:20, wakatabtham, and you will write them upon your doorpost, al mazawath bayatka, right upon your house, and upon your gates, bashayar yaka, salakia ba waba shayarya ka, means your gates, and upon your gates, lamayan yarabwa yam yakam, to the end that they may be multiplied your days, right? Wa yamya panayakam, and the days of your sons upon the earth, al ha'adama ashar nashaba Yahweh, which has swore the Lord to your fathers, la abatayakam, to give to them, lathath laham, like the days of the heavens, ka yamaya hashemayim, upon the earth, al ha'aratazah, right? So it reads, so that they may be multiplied your days and the days of your children upon the earth, which I swore the Lord to your fathers to give to them, right? Like the days of the heavens upon the earth, right? So this literally is telling you that the law is forever. The law is never done away with, because it says what? Right? To teach them, perform them, put them on your doorpost, right? This verse says what? As long as there is a heaven over the earth. That's a cut right there. Deuteronomy 11:22, Kaya am Shamar, the Shamar one, because if surely you would keep to all which was commanded, Atakal Hamatazawa, Hazath, right? This Ashar Anakaya Matazawa, which I have commanded to you, Atakam, La Aishata, to do, La Ahaba, to love, to the Lord, Ata Yahweh, Allah Hayakam, your power, to walk, La Lakath, in all his ways, Bakal Darak Yahweh, and to cling onto him, Wala Tabaka Bawa. Waharayash Yahweh, right? And he will dispossess the Lord to all the nations these, Ata Kal Hagawayim Ha'Allah, before you, Ma Lapanayakam, right? Wayarashtam, right? And you will possess two nations, Gawayim, Gedalium, mightier or greater and mightier than thee. Wa Itazamayim, meaning and mightier than thee, Makam. But literally that means Ma, meaning of, Kam, meaning you, of you, right? Deuteronomy 11:24, Kal Hamakwam, Ashor the Darak, right? All place, right? Which you will tread. Darak means way, but it also means to tread. It literally means to tread, but most of the time it's talking about walking this way or in the way of, on the way, meaning on the path to a certain place. Kap regalkam, the soles of your foot, right? So it says all the place which you would tread upon it the soles of your foot, right? Which is upon it is written last, Bawa. Lakam to you will be Yahaya. From the wilderness, Man Ha Madabar Waha Labanan, and to Lebanon. From the river, Mahanahar, the river Euphrates, Nahar Parath, Wa'ad, and even to the sea, Hayam. Right, the reason why the river Euphrates is actually Nahar Parath, because Parar means to break asunder, right? Because the river Euphrates is a big river, and then it has channels, right? Which is where I believe Farrakhan gets his name from, because it's Parar Kahan, meaning shattering priest. It's bugged out. Right? Parar means to shatter, to break, right? For example, breaking a curse would be parar arar. Wa'ad hayam, and even to the sea. Ha harwan, right? The hindermost sea, meaning to the west. Yahaya, it will be, really, right? They, meaning Ya, meaning they, Haya will be, right? Your borders, Kabal come, right? So it says, all place which you will tread upon the soles of your feet will be to you from the wilderness unto Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, and even to the sea, west to the west, will be your borders. La'a yatayata tazab, right? Ayash bapanayakam, right? Meaning ya meaning they, tayatazab meaning stand, la'a means they will not stand. So altogether it says they will not stand, right? But you read the ya first, right? As far as understanding it, not reading it, understanding it with your mind. They, right? La'a, right? Tayatazab, they will not stand. But it's written together so you understand, right, what it means. La'a yatayatazab, they will not stand. A man. Ursulakia, he. The ya is he. Will not stand a man, ayash, before you, bapanaya come, right? Pakad come, right? Meaning your dread and your fear. Wa mara'a come, will place, yatan, Yahweh lahaya come, right? The Lord your power, right? Upon the face, alpanaya, of all the land, kal ha'rataza, which you will tread upon it. Ashar the darakwa baha, ka ashar the bar lakam, like which he spoke to you, right? So it's saying, right, he will not stand a man before you, right? Your dread and your fear will he place, the Lord of your power, right, upon the face of all the land which you are treading upon it, like which spoke, like which he had spoken unto you, right? Ra'ah, Anakaya, Nathan, Lapanayakam. See, I have placed before you this day Hayawam, Barakah, blessing, and curse. Wa Kualala. Right? Wa Kualalha. Right? Ata Abaraka, Ashor Shemaiwa, right? To the blessing which you will hear, to the commandments al Matazawath of Yahweh, the Lord your power, Yahweh Lahayakam, Ashar Anakaya Matazawah, which I have commanded to you at the come today, right? Waha Kwalal Ha, right? And will be cursed. I'm La'ah, if you do not hear the Shemaiwa, to the commandments al Matazawath of Yahweh, the Lord your power, Yahweh Lahayakam, and you turn back, wa Wasartham, from the way, Man Hadarak, which I have commanded to you, Ashar Anakaya Matazawa Atakam, today Hayawam, right? To walk, La Lakath, La meaning to, Lakath means to walk, after God's, Acharya Alahayim, others, Acharyim, which you have not known, right? Ashar La'a Yadaitam, right? Because the thumb means you, La'a have not, Yadai means to know, you have not known, right? So in essence it says, right, and the curse if you do not hear to the commandments of the Lord your power, right, you turn back from the way which I have commanded to you today, to walk after God's others, which you have not known. Wahaya Kaya Yabiyaka, right, and will come to pass because you go in, he brings you in. The Yah means he, by Yah means to bring you in, unto thee, that's the Ka, the Lord of your power, Yahweh Alahayaka, to the land, right, Al Ha'aratazah, which you, Ashar, Atha, are going in hither to possess, Ba'a Shema, Awashata, right, Wa Nathatha, and will appoint to the blessing, Atha Habarakah, upon the mount, Al-Har, Gerizim, and to the curse, Wa Atha Hakwalalha, upon the mount, Ebal, Alhar Ayabal, right? Hala, Hama, meaning Hala means afar off, right? For example, if I say you stand afar off, I would say Imadath Hala, right? Stand afar off, right? Hala, Hama, afar off day, right? So afar off day, by Ibar, or beyond the Jordan, right? Hayaradan, right? Uh, uh, behind Harya, the way, Darak, from the going down of the sun, Ma Bawa'a, Hashamash, Ba Rataza, in the land of the Canaanites, Ha Kanaanaya, right? Hayashab, right? That dwell in Araba, Ba Araba. Hayashab means to dwell. Um, Mawal, from upon. Um, Ha Galgal, right? From upon Gilgal, Atazal, next to the oaks, Al Wanayu of Marah, right? Atazal means next to or nearby, right? Um, Awal means oak. Plural will be Al Wanaya, right? Or Alium. It all just means oak, an oak tree, or an oak forest in this case. So terebinth, that just it's a fancy way to say an oak tree. Right. Again, nothing super deep. It just means an oak. The oak forest of Moreh. Right? Let's see how many we got left. I think that was it. That was the last verse. Last two verses. Right? Kaya Atham. Or actually, let me show you where right? First off, Deuteronomy 11 and 30, right? Afar off, it says, are they beyond the Jordan, right? Behind the way from the going down of the sun, right? In the land of the Canaanites that dwell in Araba, from upon Gilgal, next to the oaks of Moreh, right? So let me show you the Bible map. This is basically saying, right? I'm just gonna show you real quick. It's like it. Gerizim Bible map. All right. See if I can get here it is. Right. Basically, it's telling you that they're on the western end where the sun goes down from Jerusalem, right? Here's the two mountains and there's Jerusalem. Simple as that. It tells you where they are. Kaya ata Mibarium ata Hayuradan, right? Because you are going beyond the Jordan to go in to possess La Ba'a, La Rashatha, right? Persalakia, La Rashath, right? To possess to the land Atha Rataza, Ashar Yahweh, which is the Lord of your power, Allah Yakam, who has given Nathan Lakam unto you, and you will possess to it Wayarash Tham Atha Wayashab Tham Baha, right? You will possess to it and you will dwell upon it, right? Verse 32, Washamar Tham La Itazawath Atha Kal Ha-Hakwayim, right? You will keep to do to all the statues Wa Atha Ha Mashapatium, to all to the ordinances, Ashar and Akaya, which I am given unto, right, given, Nathan, Panaya come before you today. Ha Yawam, right? So that's Deuteronomy chapter 11, going into the Hebrew. Lord willing, you ratified, giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Habakak Wadash, and double honors to the others and apostles of Great Millstone. Kwame Asha Allah, Abad Babal, and Shalom.